Yo, it's your boy E Double back with another video. This one's a little long overdue. I was supposed to hit y'all with a 1 month review of the whip. At the time, had like a 2-month-old baby. Life got in the way, so this one got a little delayed. But yeah, if you looking for a review from an actual owner, you know, a lot of these car reviews, they kind of go to the dealership, hop in the whip for a few hours, 30 minutes or so, ride, drive it around, and they kind of give you a review. I wanted to give you all something from an actual owner, somebody who drive the whip every day, man. So if you're looking for owner's review, 6-month review of the Audi RS5, stay tuned. This video's for you. Alright, so I was thinking, not for a long time, but a decent amount of time, on the best way to approach this video. So 6-month review. So the way I'm gonna go about it is I'm gonna give y'all 6 things that I really like about the car, and then I'm gonna give y'all 6 things that I don't like about the car. There'll be a little crossover. Some of the things that I like has a couple elements of things I don't like, but yeah. So we're gonna go and get into it. First thing I'm gonna start off with is the so there's a package that comes with the car that's called RS Driver Assistant Package. I'm gonna group everything that this includes into one item that I like about the car. This includes the adaptive cruise control with traffic jam assist. Basically, you get your adaptive cruise control where it automatically adjusts, the vehicles in front of you and stuff like that. But the car will like stop by itself and it'll start going by itself, and you can like set the speed that you want to go. If you come to a complete stop for a certain amount of seconds, I can't remember exactly how many seconds, then the car won't start up again for you. You have to like tap the gas pedal, but once you do that, it'll pick up and stop for you again and start for you again automatically. So super dope feature. The heads-up display is super dope. High beam assist. So you actually have to turn high beam assist on, but once it's on, the high beams will turn on and off automatically depending on your surroundings, right? So like if you're in the woods and there's no other lights or vehicles or anything, it'll like turn the high beam assist on. The top view camera, or like 360 camera, which is a lot of people call it, that's pretty dope. Definitely helps when you're like bagging into certain spots, or you got a nice whip and you got some dope rims, or you don't want to scratch your rims up. So like when you're bagging into a spot and you're real close to the curb, stuff like that, like super helpful. And another thing with the RS Driver Assistant Package is traffic sign assist. So when the heads-up display, and even in the virtual cockpit, which I'll get to in a second, it'll show you the speed limit, and it gets that based off the speed limit signs that it sees as you're driving. It also puts those in the heads-up display, so super dope. So if for whatever reason you driving, you don't know how fast you're supposed to be going because you passed the speed limit sign and you didn't catch it or something like that, it's always in there. So the last sign of this scene, it'll show you the speed limit. So super dope. Again, all of those features I just named are inside of the RS Driver Assistant Package. So I'll just list that package as one thing, and all those features are like super dope. Some are more useful than others. I don't use them every day, but I've used all of them at one point or another. So super dope. All right, the next, number 2, second thing on my list is the virtual cockpit. Really, man, this was one of the things that kind of sold me on the car. I won't say this one thing sold me on the car, but I'm really into tech, right? And the fact that it has like that full screen satellite maps, or like the Google Maps or Google Earth overlay, that's like dope as to me. You know what I'm saying? Like literally I can like zoom in when I'm driving through my neighborhood, and it like shows me who has pools, who don't got pools. I just didn't know that before, and that's something that I never really paid attention to. But just super dope, man. I can't think of any situations where it's better than like just the regular maps, but it's just cool to look at, you know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, the virtual virtual cockpit is super dope. I don't know if they was first to the game, but I think they did it the best. So yeah, shout out to Audi on that. The third thing that I really like is the traffic light information. Now this feature is not widespread. It's only in a few cities, and even in those cities, it's in very like specific locations. Like I don't think it's citywide anywhere. But basically, what it does is it'll show you how fast you need to go to make the next stoplight, and then it'll also give you a countdown to how long you have until the light turns red, or like how long until the light turns green. That dope as hell. I seen this first in a video when I was first shopping for my car. There's not a lot of information about it though, which I could see why, because it's not widespread, so a lot of people don't even probably know about it. What is it? What am I on? 3? Nah, I'm on 4. Now the first couple of things was all kind of like technology, right? Like the fourth thing that I really like about this car is the handling, right? It's Quattro, so it's 4-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, however you want to say it. The car like grips the road, man. Like you get a lot of confidence driving this car. You're not worried about whether you're gonna lose control or whether the tires are gonna slip or like any of that, man. You push the gas, this motherfucker goes. Like it takes off. Like, so super confidence inspiring. Like, I'm not a race car driver, you know what I'm saying? I haven't you know, I don't even really consider myself to be like a big car guy, you know what I'm saying? Like I like what I like. When I'm in the market, I do my research and you know, look at my price point and you know, make sure I check all my boxes. So, you know, I do my due diligence, but I'm not a car expert. But this car drives good as shit, you know what I mean? Like it hugs the road. When you want to go fast around corners, it hugs them, you know what I mean? Takes off. You don't even feel like you're going as fast as you're going in this car. It picks up so quick. I've had a lot of people say that to me, like they're riding and then they kind of, you know, glance over at the virtual cockpit like, oh damn man, we going 70, you going 80, man? I feel like we're going like 40. So, you know, the handling is super good. One thing I guess I've realized is that this size car is perfect for like how I want my car to kind of handle, you know what I mean? There's bigger cars, there's faster cars. You sacrifice, I feel like, a little bit on the handling, like the bigger you go. And that's not to say that bigger cars don't handle well, because I'm sure there are big cars that handle well. But from some of the cars that like I drove when I was buying this car, first one that comes to mind is the E53, the AMG. I guess it was the 43 that I test drove. That car felt big. You know what I mean? It was fast, not as fast as this, but it just felt big. It didn't handle as good. So the handling on this car is super dope. So where we at? We on number 5. This one's kind of crazy, but I really love the color of this car, man. Like the Nardo gray, man, it's an attention getter. Like everywhere I go, like almost every single day, I'm at a gas station or I'm parking at the grocery store or just going to go work out or I'm out hooping, like whatever the case may be. So many people walk up to me and be like, oh man, what color is that? That car's like super dope. Like, oh man, that color's sick. Yeah. Like just everywhere I go, man. Like, and I definitely love the color. Before I bought this car, I was looking at getting a white car with like black trim, black rims. My wife had got a SUV about almost 2 years ago, and it was white with the black, you know, black rims and stuff, and like really caught my attention. I think that looks really good. I'm kind of over the whole black on black on black thing, you know, so I was thinking white with the black will look sick. When I seen this car, well, not this car specifically, but when I seen this color, I was like, oh shit, like, yeah, that's dope. That's dope. The Nardo, it's not a matte color, which some people call it that. It's not matte. It's more like a flat color because it doesn't have all the like crystals or like pearl effects of some paint. So it's flat, but it's shiny, and it just looks really good, man. And depending on the lighting conditions, sometimes it looks lighter, sometimes it looks darker. But the color, man, definitely one of my favorite things about this car. Not specific to this car, but I love it, man. I drive the car every day. 6 months in, I still love the color. And then number 6, I'm gonna go with the LED interior lighting. It comes with the Napa leather package. Yeah, see the Napa. Oh, you can get like Alcantara in the like center area where this like stitching is, or you can do the Napa leather. I did the Napa leather. I just prefer leather, honestly, and the lighting package is dope. It lights up the whole car. I don't even know how many colors it is. It's like completely customizable. So there's like a ton of colors that you can change it to, so however you feel it. I normally keep it at like red and white, like sport red with white, or sometimes I'll put like blue on there. But super dope, man. I really like the LED lighting. So yeah. Now as far as my dislikes, all right, the first one. When I first bought this car, I was coming from a Lexus IS 350F Sport. That car is definitely not as fast, not as powerful. Nice car. Definitely enjoyed it. One thing that car had that's better than this car is it had a bigger gas tank. That car had a 17.4 gallon gas tank, and this car only has a 15.3 gallon gas tank. I'm getting about 20 miles per gallon, so like those 20 miles per gallon, you know, you subtract 2 gallons, that's about 40 miles. Yeah, about 40 miles. That's like noticeable, you know what I mean? And like day-to-day driving, you know, that's a couple trips to work, you know, or something, you know, getting gas a couple of days earlier than I normally was. After 6 months in, I don't notice it as much because it's just kind of in my routine now. But when I first bought the car, I was like, damn, I'm like getting gas like pretty frequently. Like, this is kind of whack. I've gotten used to it somewhat, but definitely noticeable. Wish the gas tank was bigger. That's pretty whack. I'm sure that probably got to do with like weight reduction. I don't know how much more 2 gallons of gas weighs. I don't know, but yeah, they should have put a slightly bigger gas tank. Second thing that I dislike about this car is the so with the Google Map overlays that you get on a virtual cockpit, you actually have to subscribe to Audi Connect to get that. And like my 6-month trial expired on my Audi Connect, which it was free for the first 6 months. So in order for me to get the Google Map overlays back, like I had to pay. It was like $100 and some. Like I don't remember the exact amount. Shit, I'll put it over here somewhere once I look that up. But yeah, it was like $100 and some. I don't feel like Audi Connect is really worth that. Now I did pay it so I can get it back, and some of the other features are alright. I don't really use them that much, but I just think that's whack. Like y'all should give us the Google Map overlays, and then like I guess like just don't update them or something if we don't pay the Audi Connect subscription. Like I don't know, y'all should figure that out though, because it's like a super dope feature and then you just like take it away. That's whack, you know. Like but I don't know, that's how they get their money. But that's a dislike. Number 2 dislike. My third thing is so we had some technical difficulties, man. My battery died, and your boy was on his way to go hoop, so got that hoop session out the way, went back to the crib. It was dark, so it's the next day. But yeah, so to pick up where I left off from, I think I was on number 3, and the number 3 dislike that I have about the car is man, sometimes I really wish it was just a little bit faster. Now don't get me wrong, this car fast as and it's very rare situations, right? Like, and I think it has probably to do with the like turbo lag. There's definitely like some turbo lag when you just floor it. Like it takes a second, but then it, you know, like takes off. So like maybe that's more so what I'm complaining about. But nobody ever complained over another, you know, 15, 20 more horses, you know what I'm saying? So like it's 144 horsepower, 143 feet-pound of torque. If it was maybe like shit, I don't know, like 470, you know what I mean? Like in 470 pound-feet of torque, something like that. But yeah, there's times that I just wish it was a little bit faster. What I have noticed is if I switch it into manual mode and I use the paddle shifters, I feel like having just that little bit more control, I can kind of mitigate that lag, right? Like, cause I can kind of just drop the RPMs and I know what I'm gonna do versus the car trying to figure out what I'm trying to do. So yeah, that'll help for sure. But yeah, I would say that was probably my third thing. I just wish it was like a little bit faster. So if it either didn't have that turbo lag, or maybe just had a little bit more horsepower, yeah, so just a little bit faster, man. Now, the fourth thing, which really 3 and 4 kind of go together, because I just said the turbo lag, right? So, yeah, that's a separate thing. Turbo lag is a separate thing. Even if it was faster and you still had that lag, you still would feel that turbo lag. So yeah, turbo lag is an issue. You definitely feel it. I don't think it's as big as a deal as some of the people on like the forums and shit complaining about. Like, they make it seem like, oh, it's like multiple seconds, it just doesn't do anything. Like, no, it's not like that. Like, just in certain situations when you go to floor, like, it takes a little second, and it might just be because it's downshifting or something. Like, I don't know. I'm not a car expert. I just told y'all that shit, but I definitely can feel it. I think the only car that I've ever been in, not driven, because I haven't driven one, but I've been in, and like, the acceleration is immediate. Like, every time somebody tapped the pedal, was the Tesla. And I think that's because they got the instant torque. You know what I mean? It's electric. Don't nothing got to build up. Like, it ain't nothing turning. It just goes. But yeah, so the turbo lag, that's a complaint of mine for sure. All right, and then the fifth thing. Now, as I said earlier, like, some of my likes and dislikes kind of gonna go hand in hand, right? And like, for number 5 dislike, I wish the car was a little bigger, right? Now, a lot of people will be like, oh, okay, well, you should have just got the RS7. Well, first off, the RS7 is a whole nother 40 bands, right? But not only that though, the car handles different, right? I didn't test drive a RS7 because I didn't like the old generation A7, S7, RS7s, but like the new ones, the 2020s, I actually think they're dope as so I might have would have looked at either the S7 or maybe even the RS7. RS7 is a little more than I was wanting to spend, but I probably would have looked at it. But with that being said, them cars just don't handle the same, right? Like, I test drove an A7, the old body style, and now it's not as fast, right? But just it feels big. It's a big car. You know what I mean? And that's why I said earlier, I've learned that this size car is like the perfect size car for me, that I like as far as handling wise. Now with that, you got to make some sacrifices, right? So it's gonna be a little smaller. Now this car does work. As far as I got an 8-month-old. Right, my little man fits in the back. My wife can ride with me. The hatch makes it easy to put the stroller in, and you know, we can run around on the weekend, run some errands, go grocery shopping, go shopping. Got, you know, plenty of space, so it definitely works, right? But I just wish it was a little bigger, you know, as far as passengers. You know, when my relatives was in town, when my cousin and my homeboy, my cousin like 6'3", my homeboy maybe like 6 foot 6'1", you know what I mean? They fit. It was cool, but if it was a little bigger, they would be a little more comfortable, you know. But you know, at the end of the day, it's nitpicking. There's sacrifices with no matter whatever whip you pick, right? Because I could have got the bigger whip, then I'd be complaining and say I felt like it was too big. I get the smaller whip, I'm like, oh, I wish it was bigger, but it drives perfect, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, that pretty much summarizes my 5 likes. Or no, I'm sorry, it wasn't 5. What the f***? It's supposed to be 6. For number 6, what would be my 6th thing that I dislike about this car? I wish the car had cooled seats. So it has heated seats, but it doesn't have cool seats, right? And like, the same thing was in my Lexus. My last car was a 2014 Lexus IS 350F Sport. I already said that. 2014 was the first model that they changed the body style. And on the F Sports, you could get the heated seats, but you couldn't get the cool seats, right? But then 2015, they magically like figured that shit out, and you was able to get the heated and cool seats. Well, this is the first year of this car, right? The 2019 Audi RS5 Sportback. It actually, the first Sportback RS5, right? They always was coupes, and they got the heated seats, but not the cool seats. Now, I don't think that they're gonna put it in the 2020s, because according to Audi, or what I've read, it has to do with the leather or something, and it needs to be perforated with the way they do the ventilated seats. I think they like actually blow fans or something. I don't know how it works, but it don't got the cool seats, and I wish it did. I live in Houston. It gets hot as it's hot as today. It's like 100 and some degrees. It gets super humid. So having them cool seats is a lot more beneficial than having the heated seats. I don't even think I really use the heated seats. Like, the coldest it gets in Houston is normally in January, and you know, you might have a day of freezing, which is like 32. You know, it might get to like 29. That's like a day or two. You know what I mean? Majority of the time, it's nice. And I'm originally from Minneapolis, so now I have acclimated. I've been in Houston for like 8 years, so I'm not like how I used to be. But what they consider cold here, that's not cold, man. Like, when it's 50 or 60 degrees, I don't need to have my heated seats on. You know what I mean? Like, it's not that cold. Like, throw a jacket on, you know, dress properly, and you know what I mean? I'm cool. But yeah, so I really wish they had the ventilated seats. So again, man, that pretty much summarizes my 6 likes, my 6 dislikes, right? As I mentioned, there was definitely some crossover, but I think y'all get a good feel. In summary, man, I love this whip, like, straight up. I'm excited every time I drive it. You know, when I'm at the gig, when I'm finishing up, you know, I'm excited to walk out to it. You know what I mean? When I get up in the morning, load my son up in his car seat, take him to daycare, I'm excited to, you know, drive it. Whenever I really get to open it up on the highway, when I really get to hit the overpass, the ramps, the corners, or whatever the case may be, definitely a nice car to drive. I do not regret my purchase at all. When I was in the market looking for this car, I was originally, well, not looking for this car, when I was in the market looking for a car, I was originally looking at getting the Jaguar F-Pace S, because I was thinking about getting an SUV. Then they came out with the F-Pace SVR, and I really wanted that car, or that truck, SUV, whatever you want to call it. Truck is a bad word down here in Houston if you ain't talking about a pickup. But yeah, wifey wanted me to get something fast. She wanted me to get a car, man. She likes, you know, going fast, and she got the SUV. So she was like, man, I should get a car. And I was like, you know, yeah, maybe the next go around I'll get an SUV. Now, there is somebody who lives in my neighborhood who bought the Jaguar F-Pace SVR in silver. Bad. Every time I see him, I be like, I kind of be wishing I might have would have bought the Jaguar. But if I'd have bought that, then and if I would have seen one of these, I'd have felt like I should have bought this, right? So it is what it is, man. No matter what decision you make, there's always gonna be questions, and you gonna, you know, second guess yourself somewhat. But at the end of the day, it's how you feel day to day, every day when you drive it. And I love this car, man. Like, I do not regret it. Don't got no buyer's remorse. Dope whip, man. Hopefully I answered some of y'all questions. Maybe for somebody who's in the market, who's on the fence, maybe they want to buy their car, maybe they don't. You know, maybe you want to get the S5 or the RS5. There's a difference. I'm gonna just tell you straight up. Yeah, they look the same on the inside. They're very similar. They don't look exactly the same, but they're very similar. But the extra power you get in this car is definitely noticeable over the S5. And then it's just a little more limited, if that matters to you, right? I have not seen another RS5 Sportback on the road. I'm sure there's some out there. I see in the forums, I see pictures on Instagram, but I have not seen another one on the road. I see a lot of S5s, and I see a ton of A5s, but I have not seen an RS5 Sportback on the road. Now that I said this, watch, I see one tomorrow. But yeah, so it's a little bit more exclusive, if that means something to you. But yeah, man, like I said, I hope I answered any questions that y'all might have, man. If y'all want another video more in-depth, if y'all got some questions, leave some comments. I do my best to try to get back to y'all, answer them questions. But yeah, man, it's pretty much a wrap on the video. Hope y'all enjoyed it, man. Go and smash that like button for me, hit that subscribe button. I got a lot more content coming, man. I'm trying to be more consistent. But yeah, man, it's your boy E Double checking out. Deuces.